Probably the Halloween party that we had. That was awesome.
Hi, Lauren. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Yourself?
I'm good, thank you. So you are super cool in Eternals. You got lightning speed, which is really cool. Now, I want to know, how did you shoot those scenes? Because you're present, and then you take off, and then you're present again. Especially that third act, you have this really cool scene with Icarus. That was so cool. I really love that scene. So how was that done?
Well, you're right. I mean, basically, I do. I show up and I said, now it's time to show up. Come on. So I would just jump in there. But sometimes it would take a few running steps to actually make it seem like that I was just arriving. But for that scene that I actually had with Icarus, it was a lot of wire work. I was running on this huge thing that's called a travelator, almost like a treadmill. But I have to say, that was a lot of hard work. It was very challenging.
So they had to pat you down because there was a lot of sweating going on.
Definitely. Yeah, it was nasty, a very nasty situation.
And that outfit, I love the costumes in this movie, just the detail. I saw it in person at the premiere. I mean, they're just beautiful to look at. What was it like, wearing it, and was it comfortable?
Well, yeah, I mean, surprisingly, it was comfortable, but it was it was very complicated to put it on. When they first gave me a dress, somebody to dress me, I was a little confused. Why do I need somebody to help me get dressed? I could dress myself, thank you very much. But no, I couldn't. It was a very complicated process because there were so many different parts. But once it was on, it was very malleable. It was really soft. I could easily run in it. And I was just so thankful to the costume team for that. I mean, it was an amazing group of people.
Now, it's so great to see. I mean, that you see a lot of firsts in this movie, with the diverse faces, and it's just so cool. And then to see a superhero that people can look up to now, because you've never seen that. You've never seen a hearing impaired superhero. So for you, what does it mean for you personally? Well, what do you think about when you were a kid, like you were missing this on the big screen?
Well, what it means for myself, it gives me the opportunity to speak about my truth, about talking about my experience. Like, for example, you just used the word hearing impaired. I mean, and it's not a term that we use within our community. We generally prefer the term deaf and hard of hearing. So this is, what I mean. This gives me an opportunity to, expose, the community and just teach and have teaching moments with people, in different ways and different, the deaf and hard of hearing people live. And representation is so powerful, and it gives people a sense of validation, and they feel like, okay, I do exist.
Now, when you join a cast like The Walking Dead, I love you on The Walking Dead. I was so glad you were back. And when you have a large cast here, do they want to learn sign language? I mean, I want to learn sign language. I think it's so cool to, do they learn, and did you teach them?
Well, that's what I loved about The Walking Dead and also being a part of the MCU. I have found that people that I work with are so open and so receptive and curious. And they come from not knowing to understanding more. And I've been very lucky because on both of those projects, The Walking Dead and The Eternals, we had an ASL consultant working with us. And they worked with the cast and the crew, teaching them how to sign, and just teaching people not just about sign language, but things about how to actually be in the same space with another deaf person.
I love that, because I'm glad you corrected me on that, because I was like, is deaf the right word? And because you don't know, because I don't have nobody in my community is deaf, so I never know. So I love to learn about new things. And speaking of learning new things, for you, what was your experience playing a super with lightning speed?
Well, I have to say it was awesome. I'm just so happy that I was able to portray a speedster because I myself really love running. I've been a runner since high school. So, I mean, it felt, that was the best part. It was one of my favorite superpowers.
Now, did you mention that during the audition, the running part?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It worked to your advantage.
Exactly. Well, I mean, I didn't necessarily audition. I was tapped for this role.
Mm.
So after having a conversation with Chloe and the executive producer, Nate Moore.
Do you, you know, some actors, especially when they're from a diverse community, sometimes they have to correct somebody or teach them like, no, we don't do that. Or, you know, something to that effect. Do you find that sometimes you have to correct people like, no, that's not the right way to portray such a person?
Well, I love this question because, yeah, I wake up in the morning, I don't think about what, I wake up thinking about what am I going to have for breakfast. I don't think about, oh, woe is me, I'm deaf. What challenges am I going to overcome today? But as I go through the day, when I interact with other people, my feeling is that most people come from a place of naivete or unawareness. And they mean well. I truly believe that people mean well, and I believe in positive change. So when I see the opportunity to educate or to correct something, I definitely seize it. It's not out of anger, but out of hope.
No, but you find that with any diverse community when you're on the set, sometimes they have to speak up and be like, yeah, Latinos don't do that, or, you know, we don't do that. That's the wrong, you know, that's not the right way, basically.
Yeah, definitely. Right. I mean, we have our own, watchdogs out there. And, what I do love about the Eternals is that I feel like we do watch out for each other. My castmates, specifically Brian Tyree Henry, who plays Fastos, is the one who actually told me, hey, if you have every right to say X, Y, and Z, do it, ask for it. They need to be educated. And I do know that he comes from a place of experience. And I definitely appreciated that.
Wow, that's great. And speaking of the cast, I mean, wow, when you signed on, and I don't know if the cast list was complete, but I mean, was your mind blown?
Yes, again, when I first, signed on for the Eternals, I had no idea who the others were going to be, who was going to be part of the cast. And it was slow. As time went, I learned other people that were a part of the cast. And wow, it was so overwhelming at first. But in the end, at the end of the day, I mean, they're just regular people who just want to tell a good story.
I mean, I love Angelina Jolie. I mean, big movie star worldwide, and she takes a backseat here. She's a supporting character. So I really love that about her, that, you know, it's a team, not one person shines, like it's a whole team that shines here.
Yeah, and especially somebody like Angelina and Selma, people who have been a part of this industry for such a long time, and you expect them, to cut corners or just save time and, sit out some stuff. But no, they were fully invested. They were there. They, even though they have supporting roles, they still were present. They showed up for whatever they were supposed to be a part of, and they really, supported some of the new cast members.
And really quick, what is the most fun thing you did on set with the group?
I would probably say, well, there were several things. Probably the Halloween party that we had, that was awesome. And also the Christmas party that Selma hosted, that was also awesome. I had so much fun. It was crazy. I mean, she has a pet owl. Now let's see what else. We also, the boat trip that we had with Chloe, and our families, it was so lovely. I mean, there were so many good moments that we had.
Well, congratulations on your success, and can't wait to see you in more projects.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.